Welcome to the show that looks at truth, fiction, and reality with a smirk. I'm Aaron Peterson.
I'm Amanda Sink.
And I'm Zach Parkerson.
And welcome to Smirk. You know, each week, one of our hosts picks an original story or writes an original story, and then we use that as a springboard for a spirited discussion on whatever the moral or theme of their story is. But we're not doing that this week.
This week, Stephen King has finally written in. He's answered our call to write in. He listened to us. He can't get enough of Smirk, Stephen King.
That's it.
Yep.
We're done.
Thanks.
We've peaked.
Thanks, Steve. We call him Steve.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh, I accidentally deleted the emails, guys. I'm sorry. It's going to have to wait.
God damn it. That sounds about right.
Yeah. Thanks, Zach.
No, we're going to close the season out and do things a little different. We're going to do things a little different because basically we're going to take a break, a sabbatical, if you will.
Peace out.
Amanda is ready to be done.
Amanda's ready to take a nap.
Yeah. It's a lot of episodes. We did 50, I think 52 by the time this one comes out. 52, 53, something like that. And we're going to be gone until January 28th. So we'll be back on January 28th. Put it in your calendars. Don't unsubscribe. Keep subscribed. We will come back. I promise you. But in the meantime, we're going to close out 2018 with, each week we kind of bring up a topic. We write a short story and bring up a topic. So in closing out the season, we thought we'll skip the story this week because it's Smirk. We can do whatever the hell we want, right?
It's our podcast. Dang it.
It is our show.
Damn right. So we're gonna rock this a different way. Each one of us is going to mention what for them has been the biggest, the defining moment for them of 2018, whatever it is.
Well, for society, not just for us, right?
It can be you, society, whatever. For you, when you look at it, what is the thing that sticks in your craw as this was the defining theme of 2018? And then we'll talk about it. Who wants to go first? Who wants to crack this nut first? I'm feeling.
Sounds dirty.
It does sound dirty.
Okay. I guess
Who's cracking nuts?
If you take it that way, you don't need to.
Zach, are we cracking your nuts?
Oh, yeah. All I have to do is hear your guys' voices. My nuts are cracked.
This is very uncomfortable, and I already regret doing the podcast this way.
This is what we're like at the end of the year, folks. We are off the rocker.
Yeah. Off rails.
I thought you were going to say off the chain, and I was going to be like,
Nobody says that. Nobody says lemon. What is it? Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Nobody freaking
Ready,
says
Freddy.
that. Oh my God.
All of the things she is saying were very relevant in 1998.
Or 1953.
What's happening? Am I going first? What's going on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Great, because my thing is probably going to be so significantly less serious than you guys. And when I think of 2018, do you know what honestly comes to mind? Aaron, Amanda?
Okay.
Spider-Man.
Oh.
I'm all ears.
No, for many, I would say until roughly like 2014. I guess whenever was Amazing Spider-Man 2, that was 2014?
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll say yes. Anyway, after that movie bombed and they brought it back to Marvel proper, I've been kind of disenfranchised with the character of Peter Parker, which is a shame because for many years, Peter Parker, Spider-Man was the most important piece of fiction ever told in my life. But after that movie bombed and then Marvel kind of took the franchise over and the comics were truly, truly terrible and there was no real good cartoon show and the games were very good because Activision was just pumping out crap. But here in 2018, it's really been the year of Spider-Man because you've had the video game, which is one of the best interpretations of Spider-Man ever. You have Nick Spencer doing the comic book now and is rectifying the mistakes of the past decade, like finally pushing past Marvel's bizarre decision to not allow Peter Parker and Mary Jane to be together. Mm-hmm. Venom was a very fun movie. There's Spider-Verse, has come out and it's, I don't know, man, it feels good. It feels, honestly, it's probably going to say how much stock I put into fiction, but I have felt happier as a person knowing that is a character I can visit now without getting angry about it. Because Spider-Man Homecoming, terrible movie.
Yeah, I had a lot of issues with Spider-Man Homecoming. I didn't think it was terrible, but I definitely had some issues.
There are parts of the third act that are incredible.
Yeah. Not when he sees the reflection and it's freaking Tony Stark making it. Oh,
yeah.
Don't say those two words.
I'm sorry. I'm triggered.
Uncle Tony.
Uncle Tony. Good on Uncle Tony.
That is your year.
Yeah, it is your year. Yeah, that makes total sense to me.
It could be viewed as silly, but it is very personal to me, I guess, how much I value that character and how important he has become again. And also, I mean, it was rather fortuitous. If anybody follows me outside of Smirk, they know that I write about games. And I got to go to E3, the big gaming convention, and it was so cool. And it felt, yeah, this is going to sound corny. It almost felt like fate. That the first year I went to E3, it had the first real attempt at telling a Spider-Man video game story.
Which was an amazing game, by the way.
It's like they made it for you.
I think they did.
They were like, Zach needs some joy in his life, so here's a platter of Spidey.
Well, you know what's funny is like the game, not to go off into game talk, but the Spider-Man game, I'm an avid Spider-Man fan too, so that was a big deal for me. And I agree, the game nailed it when they haven't been able to do that very well in a long time. But it even deviates from the source material quite a bit, especially in the final act. But they did it right. You know, they kept in the same spirit. And that was what was missing in Homecoming, for my opinion, diehard Spider-Man fans. And the game rectified that. You know, it went a little bit off script, but it also did it for really, really solid reasons. You know what I mean? Am I wrong?
Yeah, it took deviations from the established history, but it paid off in the end. You know, I mean, I cried at the end of that game. You know.
Yes, you can cry in video games, people. It's okay.
They tell stories now.
Zach's allowed to cry at whatever he wants to.
It was cool. I mean, for me, yeah, it is my favorite game ever now. So it was a big moment for me, an avid gamer.
Wow.
Wowza. Yeah.
Like over Pac-Man?
Yes, and Tetris. I know those are. I'm always talking about Pac-Man and Tetris.
What about the Pong? Because that's a good one, right?
No, you know what? The story was good in Pong until about the last half hour, but it really fell apart there at the end. So
the voice acting was awful.
Yeah, just bong, bong, repetitive.
Dong, dong.
Yes. So for 2018, for me, Spider-Man.
That's sweet.
What about you, Amanda? What symbolizes your 2018? What's your theme of the year?
Well,
moral.
I would say mine is more broad. Mine is more for society.
Well, that's good because you are a broad, huh?
Wow. Mine is more for society in general. It's the year more than any other for social media. Everything has come back to social media. I feel like we're on social media more. I feel like this year, at least me personally, I spent more time on social media than I did years before, and I'm really regretting all of the time that I've spent on it.
Regretting.
I just feel like there's...
Like if you had a DeLorean, you'd crank that bitch up to 88 and just go back and change it?
Just not to waste so much time on it. There's plenty of times where I'm just spending time scrolling through social media and liking a tweet or liking a status.
You do like everything. Legitimately everything.
I'm like, oh, that's funny. Or, oh, that made me smile, and so I like it. Like,
every time I scroll through Facebook, and I don't do it nearly as often as you do, I guarantee you, Amanda's already liked it. Whatever I'm looking at, I'm like, how the hell did you already see it?
People feel good when you like their stuff.
Yeah. But I also feel like a lot of so we've had, and I don't want to get divulging into the content itself, but a lot of the presidency has revolved around his social media-ing, his tweets and his campaign.
I haven't heard.
No, not at all.
What are you talking about?
No one has told me in the past 5 minutes about his tweets.
You're talking about Barack, right?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
B-Rock?
Yeah.
Oh, B-Rock, man. You can't keep him off the Twitter.
I call him OB.
But even our news we're getting from social media now. So everything just seems like Facebook is trying to do podcasting. Everything is coming into social media. And I feel like I thought about going with podcasting as the theme for 2018 because it seems like every single person in the entire universe has a podcast or is starting one. Even fictional characters are now getting podcasts.
Yeah, Ron Burgundy's doing a podcast. Did you hear that? That's true.
No, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, now we have to compete with that, in which we cannot because it's Ron Burgundy. Yeah.
Hey, I think we can compete with Will Ferrell.
Not Ron Burgundy.
You know what? I invite Will Ferrell to write a story into Smirk.
Oh, that would be awesome.
He can read it. God, read it as Ron Burgundy.
Oh, that would be amazing. As like a news report.
And if he refuses, I'm going to do it for him. I'm going to do my best Ron Burgundy impression on Smirk and read his story.
That would be amazing.
And it'll be for Valentine's Day.
For all the lovemaking you're going to do as Ron Burgundy?
Exactly.
So what do you guys think about this being, do you think this has been the most social media intense year that we've had, or does it not rank up there for a lot of you? Zach, I feel like you've even been more social on social media this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've definitely ramped up my Twitter presence. I'm still not on Facebook. I'll never be on Facebook, much to people I podcast with chagrin, but I refuse. I think for me, exploring social media has been mostly positive. It has been, I've put myself out there more. I've talked, had brief exchanges with creators I enjoy or something like that. It hasn't been entirely negative. It is also a complete dirt pile because, boy, do people want you to apologize for everything. And too often do people apologize for saying innocuous things. It's ridiculous in that regard, for sure.
You were really upset about the James Gunn situation. For people that don't know, director James Gunn, he was on Guardians of the Galaxy. He was making Guardians of the Galaxy 3. He got kicked off. Disney fired him because of some 10-year-old tweets.
10-year-old tweets, people.
Yeah.
Don't get James Gunn out there.
Zach was very, very upset about that. Now that the year is over and he's moved over to DC, he's got a writing and directing gig for Suicide Squad 2, I think. Are you more resolved to this? Like, this could be a good thing for DC characters, and you're more of a, well, I wouldn't say more of, but you are a DC fan, so did it work out in your eyes or no?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm glad he's got work. And it is going to be a big boon to DC and DC fans. But my stance was always, if they didn't use the script, I wasn't going to see the movie. It sounds like they are going to use his script. So it's good that he bounced back. It's still freaking preposterous. And also Marvel fired a writer on the Darth Vader comic because of Twitter comments, and when Roseanne got her show canceled. It's, I guess hers are kind of current. So never mind. I don't like that one either. I don't think that was necessary either, personally. No, it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous, and I still use James Gunn as a verb.
Yeah,
at work, like it's ridiculous what happened there, and especially with a company that launched a movie franchise around Robert Downey Jr., who was a little known for trashing hotel rooms and whatnot.
It was a problem. I mean, insurance companies didn't even want to cover him.
It's a really dumb thing. It does make me mad. Companies are putting too much stock into social media. They're putting too much stock into what is undoubtedly a vocal minority. Oh my God. Amen. Right. I am sick to death. We're talking about social media, Amanda.
Yep.
Sick to death of opening what I think is going to be a news article, because I care about the frickin' world around me, or entertainment, or political figures, or what's going on in Syria, whatever it is. And you open it and it's an article that's not an article. It's just a collection of some other guy's tweets. They're random tweets.
Listicles.
No, not even, a listicle of the tweets. That is what you're telling me is news now, because 3 people said these things, or so-and-so blasts something on Twitter, and so-and-so blasts some movie, and then you open it and they just said some random comment on Twitter. That is not news, people. That is not researching anything. That is not doing due diligence. That is not journalism. Zach, I know you appreciate this because I know you want to be a journalist. I don't like fake news. I hate using that. I'm sure
hashtag fake news.
Everybody hates that. I can't stand journalism that lazy, that uninformed, that preposterous. And it has gotten to the point where I would argue 70% of the stuff I open is that now. 70% easily to me. 70%.
You know what the worst use of journalism is when you, in a whole article, somehow they get 12 paragraphs out of, Sean Bean says he would love to be in a Marvel movie. Well, you're telling me somebody wants to get a job? Whoa. Can't believe it.
Yeah, that happens all the time now. Some random actor says they want to be in something. Yeah. That's going to be a whole news story. Well,
Idris Elba tweets, would love to, about being the new Captain America. Oh my God. I can't believe he would take that massive job.
I'm so sick of social media.
There are a lot of benefits to social media. There's,
Okay, I want to stop you because you said it. You said it out loud.
What?
What are they?
I don't
The
know.
positives?
Name the actual benefits to social media besides marketing. Let's not use marketing because that's really like a self-benefit. What are the actual, because we always hear that. We all say that, there's positive benefits. So what are they?
The first and foremost, which was the intention of social media, connecting with people that you care about. So we have that.
Well said.
Keeping informed on different properties that are coming out in entertainment, whether it be movies, video games, books, whatever those creators are making. Being able to connect on a personal level with those creators, those actors, people you idolize, podcasters, politicians, because people are now seeing they're using social media as their form of communication with people that look up to them. Mm-hmm. And that's them using it as a branding and marketing, good look to themselves. Good example is Dak Shepard, who responds to pretty much everybody on Twitter like a super nice dude for his podcast.
Reminds me, I got to promote Smirk to Dak Shepard.
Yeah, do that.
Oh, that reminds me. Wouldn't it be cool if Dak Shepard was funny?
That reminds me, I saw him in Chicago and he was hysterical.
He actually, I got to say, I've been listening to his podcast, man. I don't want to tout somebody else's show, but I'll tout the dude's show. It's actually, he's turned into a very good podcaster.
I love that he's accepted feedback from Twitter, I might add, from his listeners and improved himself. That's another benefit.
I mean, he does get a benefit too. He's got an established name and he's married to a super popular actress. That helps.
Doesn't hurt.
If we had either one of those things, I think Smirk would be just blowing up right now.
Yeah.
So if one of you could just bang a hot actor or actress, that would be great.
I'll do my best.
Zach,
I'll take one for the team.
That's good, because I think Zach could probably get more trouble than you would.
Yeah. It's what the benefits of being single.
Everyone has their famous fives.
Yeah, yours is Stephen Amell. We know.
Yep, sure is.
He is definitely number one with a bullet.
Okay, so those are the benefits. Any other ones you can think of?
Let's see.
Because you know what I see? I see, as the year has gone on, less and less connecting, more and more bitching and moaning. I have seen less politics, actually. I don't know if I just phase those people out or what, but I haven't.
Somehow there's a word in there that's like, there's words that are just filtered out of
I have unfollowed or unfriended a lot of people. You can mute
words.
Yeah, you can.
Yep.
I have muted some words myself.
I muted Trump. I'm not gonna lie.
Just the word.
Yeah, it's nothing against. I mean, I can make arguments for and against our current administration, so I'm not trashing.
You're just like, I don't want to see anything about it. I'm tired of the stories.
It's just to the point where, like, when every other thing is that, it's just like a trigger effect. You get blinded to it because you just get numb, and I just got tired of being numb. I don't want to be numb to something that impactful. I want to be able to be impacted, and that stuff was making me numb to it.
The significant stuff.
Yeah. Before I jump back into the positives. Another negative, you know what I hate? Stop telling me how good a person you are. Stop that. Those are the worst tweets.
What do you mean?
When like people are like, treat others with respect. You're like, don't not have consent before you hook up with somebody. And then they get like 100,000 likes. You're like, what? They said the common sense.
People like that.
They're not a hero. But back to Amanda's point, it is a great way to stay in touch with creators, and you get to see that it kind of is a reminder that the people that you look up to are just people in the end.
That's true.
And it can endear them to you more. Like, there's a comic writer named Donnie Cates who is just a blast on Twitter, and it has definitely made me more prone to read almost anything he writes. So that's a positive.
Excellent. You should also tweet Donnie Cates when this is over and say, hey, check out Smirk.
Write a story. Write a story in a Smirk.
Write a story in a Smirk. You're a writer.
Yeah, you probably can't use Venom in this story, but
you can. Absolutely. It's fiction, right? He's not real.
We've also been able to use social media with the natural disasters where people can check in and mark that they're safe.
You know what I see? People checking in that I wasn't even worried about. And then it just pops up and I'm like, well, good for you. I didn't even know you were in the area. I didn't know it was a thing. I feel bad. I don't know, but I remember this is true. This is a true story. There was a hurricane that went through Florida. I don't remember. It was one of the last ones that went around Florida. I don't remember which one it was, but I had a friend, you say friend, but when you get like over 300, are they really friends or just people you know? So I hit a guy that was on my Facebook friend thing.
You sound 48 years old right now.
I sound about 108 years old right now. I sound like my dad. But this dude was in, the thing was hit in Florida, and he was in, where was he at? He was in Indiana. He's in Indiana. He had just checked in somewhere in Indiana, and then he clicked, I'm safe from hurricane, whatever it was, because he's from Florida. I'm like, you don't get to do that. You don't get to ride this wave of emotion because you happen to be from the state of Florida. You jackass. I almost unfriended him over that.
He is safe.
He's very safe. He was so far safe. Yeah.
Well, maybe a lot of people didn't know he was in Indiana if they didn't see his previous
He just
status.
checked in from someplace in Indiana, wherever the hell he was in Indiana. He had just done it. We get it. You're obviously not in the hurricane's path. The thing is not going to suddenly take a uptick north to target you. That was a bit crazy.
That's funny. Well, anyway, it's still a positive, so you can see that people are safe.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sure.
Social media, that's a good one.
It's social media, good for both information and complete misinformation.
Yeah. There's
in equal measure.
But here's the
so
question.
many people quote Twitter as factual. It's like, it's not science.
Yes. Just go to the article, and it's almost always not.
People don't care about science anyway, so it doesn't matter.
True.
Do you think that there are more benefits or like positives or negatives to social media? Like, what do you think outweighs the other?
Potential or actual?
Actual.
Actual? No. Potential,
No,
yes.
No what? Positives or negatives?
I think actual is very negative. Potential is very positive.
In the broad spectrum, it is negative. It is affecting too much. It is forcing weird social, it's forcing people to act certain ways or else they must apologize or lose their careers. In a personal sense, you can carve out a positive experience on social media, but it wields way the hell too much power.
And honestly, I think it's getting to where it's unhealthy to a degrry. It's
been unhealthy.
It's very unhealthy. When people aren't connecting with the people in front of them anymore. And I know that sounds like an old guy thing. You old timer. But when you're sitting there in a room with people and everyone is on their phone. And I've been guilty of it, but everyone's on their phone and nobody's talking to each other. And that's a sad state. I
also sort of wonder, though, before social media, a lot of us I shouldn't say a lot of us. Those of us who were sort of anxious people or nervous or a little bit like uncomfortable in social situations.
Shy.
Yeah, might have maybe fidgeted with your fingers or looked at something else or kind of like sidetracked your attention. Mm-hmm. So you weren't really with the people you were with because you were just like, I don't even really know you guys. This is really awkward. And I'm just gonna do something to keep my mind off of, my anxiety. I kind of feel like that's what people are using social media for more so than anything. It's not necessarily a connection to that internet and wanting to know what's going on. It's their way of fidgeting with their fingers.
I don't know, man. Every time we say, let's get together, a big group of people, and we'll have a good time, half the group of however many people are on their phone. We're going to yeah.
I don't mind people being on their phone so much as it devolves into everyone showing each other things that they just saw on the internet.
Oh, God.
You have to look at this Reddit post.
Oh, my God. Or this one drives me nuts. Did you see what I just posted on Facebook?
That's pretty ridiculous. Well, I was going to say, if it's like me and the wife hanging out, it's fine to just show each other things. But like when you're out and it's 8 people out for drinks and it's just there's one person on their phone who just keeps like, oh my God, have you guys seen this cat video?
Yeah, kick them out of the group. That's what I say. Kick them out of the group.
That's good advice. That's sage wisdom. From an old man.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm getting to the point where I used to not be bothered by it so much. Now I'm starting to take it as an insult. Like, hey, let's hang out, and then you don't pay any attention to me. Okay. Why are we hanging out?
Mm-hmm. Stop asking me to go to the movie and then being on your phone.
Wait a second. If you have friends who are going to the movies sitting on their phone, you need to get rid of those friends immediately.
We all have friends where we watch
throw
movies.
Throw them in the trash.
I agree with you if you're in a theater. If you're at home, people do that all the time. They're on the phone. Yeah. Let's watch a movie, and then they play on their phone. And to me, it's like, get up and walk away. You're obviously not watching it.
Because I know in 10 minutes you're going to ask me, wait, how did he get there?
Oh, God. That drives me crazy. What happened? Well, I was paying attention. I just didn't understand. No, you weren't paying attention. I promise you.
Wait. How did Thanos snap his finger? He doesn't have all the stones.
He got the stone an hour ago.
He got all of them over the last hour. Where you been?
This is the movie you're just watching.
What does this mean when he snaps his fingers? What, is that going to do something? Weird.
Yeah, it means hopefully you get dusted.
So, Aaron, what's your story of 2018?
Oh,
or theme?
So it's a really an overall
Smirk.
theme. Smirk, yeah. Smirk overall. It's too much on my plate. Too much on my plate. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. It's been a year where I need to learn to say no to things or to take things off my plate and commit to it. But I always feel bad. I always feel responsible. I feel obligated. I feel like Zach and Zach's last story. I feel like the family dinner, it's just like, well, I got to show up. I got to do these things, and at one point it was April and May for 2-month period, I was doing 5 podcasts at the same time. And it was stupid. And I should have just been smarter and said, no, I'm not going to do that.
And in your busiest work time.
Yeah. And it was one of my business work times. So I was like slammed. I had absolutely no free time. And it was April and May. Now, if you're in California, that's just like 2 months, right? You got 10 months to play and have fun and everything. In the Midwest, you only get like 6 months where you can go outside to begin with. And I wasted 2 of them indoors. So it was like a big deal. And I wasted 2 months of my life doing that stuff. And I don't want to say wasted because I enjoy doing it. Smirk has been great. Hollywood Outsider, great. Beyond Westworld, Blacklist, all the stuff I was doing was great. It just too much on my plate. And I needed to actually be able to say, I can't do all of these things at once. And I did close one remake this movie where I shut that down because I needed one thing off my plate. But it's been
we were on that sometimes.
Yeah, you were on that sometimes. It's been a year of every month feeling I have too much on my plate. And I keep taking things off it and somehow something else stacks onto it. So I don't know what the solution to that is, but that's how I felt. Almost overwhelmed for a lot of the year. What about you guys? Did you feel that at all?
Hills, yeah. I've gotten to the point where I'm just tired. I'm literally just tired. I could sleep 9 hours and it doesn't feel like enough. It's just like I'm just exhausted because 2018 has kicked my butt. I'm ready for a break, and it's really hard for me to like sit down and actually take a second to say, Amanda, you need to take a break. You need to just step away from your stuff. You need to stop trying to do something because I always want to do something. Like I started the new year and I was like, oh, I'm going to watch every Jake Gyllenhaal movie in his catalog. And then in
by the way, weird.
Weird. Each year I was going to do a new actor.
No, I get it. Just a weird thing.
2019 was going to be Tom Hanks. If I can't do Jake Gyllenhaal, I definitely can't do Tom Hanks in 2019.
That is a bold step forward because you're going from like 20 to 80 or something.
Yeah. 30, 32 or something like that for Gyllenhaal.
And how much does Hanks have?
I don't know.
Gotta be 80.
Yeah.
He's got to have 80 credits by now.
It's a lot. So
he's definitely got Dragnet.
I saw
that, Strebeck. We're just in time. We have stumbled onto a major crime. They got the girl all frightened. That's not nice. I think she is the subject of a sacrifice. Sorry, I got a little.
Wild Wild West, Jim West, Desperado, Rough Friday. You don't want that.
That's a different movie.
It is a different movie.
Yeah,
I have
better movie.
28 movies left for Jake Gyllenhaal in the next.
You started with how many? 32?
Yeah. He also added a couple throughout the year, so that wasn't fair.
Wow.
But, yeah.
That seems like you can't commit.
Yeah. Well, and then I've got school full time and trying to just barrel through getting my bachelor's degree. I took classes over the summer. I took 9 credits over the summer in a 8-week period, and I really shouldn't have done that. Took some, just took on 3 podcasts, this year throughout 2018.
Yeah.
I took on a charity.
See, too much on your plate.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was all stuff that I wanted to do and that I didn't want to give up. And then, it was just one thing after another where I signed up for something. Even just recently, I signed up to volunteer to do something. And it was like, you have 5 days to read all of these portfolios from 9 teachers and grade them. And I was like, crap, I forgot about this. Forgot I signed up till I got the email that was like, you can pick up your portfolios today.
You know what? Just kind of give him a good look-see. You'll be all right.
Skim through it. It's only somebody's career. It's fine.
What is it for? Like Golden Apple? You're voting for Golden Apple?
Yeah, it's an award for teachers.
Vote for the lady.
They're almost all ladies.
Pick the one whose middle name is Marie.
Also, they don't give you their names or their gender.
Oh, great. That's all of them.
Yeah, that's every white woman in America. Literally, that's
It's
my
either
middle
Marie
name.
or Anne. Those are the two middle names.
Yeah, or Lynn. Sometimes there's some Lynn's.
Oh, I don't know very many Lynn's.
Vote for a Lynn. If there's a Lynn there, go for that one because she
You
stands
don't
out.
see their name.
Exactly.
Can you just pick the third paper you pick up?
There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah, they're numbered. They're all so that way they're
Third
anonymous.
time is the charm.
All right, number 23.
Solve
You're it.
your problem. Zach, what about you? Do you feel like you got too much on your plate, or you're just like, I'm good?
Oh man, I'm chill as hell. You guys whining about? Everyone has too much on their plate. Yeah, I picked up a couple podcasts this year too. And
You sure did. Yeah. I went to E3 because of it.
Went to E3. That was cool. Doing a lot of. Yeah, I know that's like the biggest like first world problem ever, right? But I get a lot of codes for video games now, and obviously people want you to provide coverage. And the problem with that is video games much longer than say a film or a TV show.
True story.
Instead of 2 hours or 13 hours, you're looking at 40, 50 hours. So, and think about this, like, right? Oh my God, he plays video games. What a shame. Think about you're 3 hours into a game that's 60 hours long, and it just sucks. And it is, you feel like you are wasting your time, but you've got 57 hours to go.
Do you have to finish it?
It like if it's a story-based game, it feels pretty messed up to not finish the story. There are games where you just have to throw in the towel, like Red Dead Redemption 2. I was never going to finish that game ever. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I owe it to the people who put their blood, sweat, and tears into a product to see it all the way through, for sure.
Wait.
I could think of one game that was I put 70 something hours into, and at the end I gave it like a 3.4.
Oh my!
That is
God.
a special kind of dedication that I could not have, because I'd be about 2.5 minutes in. Nope, done. This review is gonna suck. You suck.
Period.
Yeah, it's garbage. No, like, and I mean, I love it. I love writing about games. I love talking about games. E3 was incredible. I felt more like myself than I've ever felt in my entire life being there,
That's cool.
Aw.
and just talking to people about games and kind of like smoozing my way into seeing stuff that maybe I wasn't supposed to see, or sneaking into the Smash Bros. Demo, which I definitely wasn't supposed to be at. It felt great. Like Amanda said, and less so, Aaron. It sounded like you put some things on your plate you weren't totally into, but Amanda, it sounds like,
No, I wouldn't.
I
wouldn't say that. It's just too much on my plate. I mean, I'm into them. It just, you can't be into everything at once. That's really the biggest problem.
you load up on all the good things,
Mhm.
and then the plate is still heavy,
It is. Like Blacklist Exposed, that was like an episode every week for a podcast for a show about the Blacklist. And I loved the show, and we've had a lot of great success with it. But at some point, you just, with everything else, you're just like, you get tired of talking about it, in everything, just like remaking it. I just got tired from having too much on my plate. So that's what this year has been. Feels like, what can I do to take some things off my plate so I can lighten the load? And then you take something off, and then something else comes up, but it just seems like it lands on the plate. I didn't invite it. It just lands there, and you end up doing something with it.
Right. Also, friends, stop trying to hang out with me. I don't have time anymore.
That's another thing,
Stop making.
right? You start missing that stuff because you're like, what? I'm missing like fun opportunities to do stuff that, maybe not as fun as hanging out with your friends.
Yeah.
Or you're like, you go out for drinks for a friend's birthday and you're like, I gotta leave early even though I've had like 3 shots.
Yeah, because I got
because I got a podcast at 9 in the morning, so I'll see y'all later. And they're like, wait, what? You gotta do
Right.
what? You have to work in the morning? No, but it's unpaid. It's
Got
unpaid
stuff.
work.
Don't worry about it.
It is work. You're just not making a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or any.
Already. Very little. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this
Year.
This year, right? This year kind of wrap up.
Mhm.
This is heavy. This is a lot more laid back, casual episode than we've ever done. Normally, we try to keep it light and tight, as we like to say. So
do we?
Yes.
We like to say that?
we just started
Light.
Oh,
saying
I like
that.
it. Both light and tight.
In 2019, we're gonna keep it lighter and tighter. You like
Yes,
that?
we'll always be getting tighter. You know what I'm saying?
Practice
you can
those
look for-
kegels.
January 19th.
You can
We'll,
look,
No, January
21st?
28th. 28th. January 28th. We don't even know
Stop
when we're coming
confusing them. January 28th.
back. The Smirk podcast will be back January 28th. Please, in the meantime, tell your friends, share your favorite episode. Find in the catalog what your favorite episode was and let your friends know. And we're hoping, Zach, how do you want to tease this, I guess?
I want to say follow us on Twitter. Keep us in your social media minds as we take this break, because we're not resting on our laurels. There is a special project that we're putting together. It'll come out in January sometime, and look for more information there. I will say, when you write a bunch of stories, wouldn't it be nice to read them?
There you go. Take from that what you will.
That's a tight tease right there.
Oh, and light. Definitely light.
Definitely light. Yeah.
Definitely light. As the show goes, when it comes back, we will occasionally pick listener stories to read and discuss on Smirk. If you want to have yours read, email it to mystory@smirkpodcast.com. You can join the conversation by joining our Facebook group, follow us on Twitter @SmirkPodcast, and use the show's hashtag Smirk. Remember, please share your favorite episode. That's our challenge to you for the 4 weeks we're off. Share your favorite episode on your social media outlets and get people to check out the show. We would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
What's your favorite episode?
Mine?
Yeah. Do you have one?
Oh yeah, I do. It's Scream Like the Night.
I'll make you scream like the night you died.
I'll make you scream like the night you died.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
That's my favorite too.
That's my favorite too.
Oh my gosh, consensus.
Sweet. Let's try and that's the goal in 2019 is to top that episode.
I don't know how.
You can't top the title.
You definitely can't top the title.
You can't top how we came to that title. That's the best part.
Literally.
Oh, Amanda, you went too far. Well, guys, this is it. January 28th, we're coming back. We're looking forward to talking more about randomness and random things and telling some stories. Thank you all for being here. Anything you guys want to say in closing?
Can we all say on 3 Happy New Year?
No.
No,
Please?
we're not going to do that.
Come on.
That's ridiculous.
We're not going to do it.
Happy
Amanda.
holidays.
We're not going to do it.
Happy New Year.
As you write your own life
Happy
story.
New Year.
Nope, we're not doing
Hey,
it.
how do you get you know what my message is? Aaron, thwip.
Oh, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, because that was the year.
I got
That's his onomatopoeia when he shoots his web shooters. When you read a comic,
it. Okay.
I even knew.
As you write your own life story, always remember to tell it with a smirk.
Happy New Year.
We're not doing it.
happy.
Happy
We're not doing
New
it.
Year. He was going to do it. Did you hear him? He started to do
You
it,
know
and then you
what?
told him we weren't doing
Zach,
it.
Happy
Come on.
Valentine's Day.
Come on, Zach. Let's do it for her. Come on. Let's do it.
All right.
1,
1,
2, 3.
Happy New Year. He didn't even do it.
You son of a bitch.
You can't put me in a box.
Please, come on, one time.
Too late. We're done.
Aww.
Happy New Year.
What the f***? You some bitch.